Between the voting rights destruction and state gerrymandering in the South now, how is the midterms anything but rigged at this point? It's no wonder why so many Republicans were smug about their positions and ceded all power to ride this obvious grift train. There is zero consequences, and they just bully and weaponize government to push out any who dissent. Absolutely disgusting anymore. I truly hope to see a huge surge, but the skeptic in me already feels like it's rigged and will get worse, coupled with all the idiots in power not ever relinquishing power.
Fuck it. I got time today.
Ode to the land of the free and the slightly frustrated. Oh, say, can you see, by the dawn's early light, a nation once proud, now in a bit of a fight? From the deep state shadow and the socialist ploy, we're rallying our spirits and waving our flag with joy. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created, and yes, sometimes fall. But the deep state's got plans, and they're sneaky and sly, like a cat in the night with a globalist eye. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, declared independence, no need for confusion. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of some bacon, not socialist dreams or woke mind shaken. The Constitution's preamble, so noble and grand, establish justice, they say, and defend the land. But now they're trying to rewrite the rules like it's a game of Monopoly, and they're the fools. So let's stand up with humor and a bit of good cheer to the socialist left and their global puppeteer. We'll fight for our freedoms with a laugh and a grin, because America's spirit will always win. And when the deep state tries to sneak in the back, we'll say, not today, and no, not with that hack. For liberty's flame is too bright to be snuffed, and the Constitution's our shield, tougher than tough. So here's to the land of the brave and the free, with a wink and a nod and a good cup of tea. We'll save this great nation, don't worry or fret. God bless America, and all of us yet.
Alright, patriots, welcome back to FkIt. I've got time today. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's as old as the Republic itself, but more relevant than ever. Gerrymandering and the realignment of American politics. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear isn't just a history lesson. It's a blueprint for how we take back our country from the rigged game they've been playing for decades. Let's start with gerrymandering, one of the sneakiest, most underhanded tricks in the political playbook. You've seen those districts that look like a salamander, a spaghetti monster, or something a toddler doodled on a map, right? Well, here's the truth. The Democrats can only win by cheating. That's right. Their entire strategy relies on carving up districts so crooked, so bizarre, that Salvador Dali himself would say, that's a little too creative. They don't win fair and square. They cheat, plain and simple. And here's the kicker. Gerrymandering isn't some new phenomenon. It's been around for over 200 years. The term gerrymander dates back to 1812, when Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry approved a map so grotesque it looked like a salamander. A cartoonist, probably with a sense of humor and sharp eye for the absurd, drew the map, and it was dubbed gerrymander. Since then, politicians on both sides have played dirty. But let's be honest, Democrats have made it their signature move. They've perfected the art of drawing districts that pack their opponents into a few districts and spread their own voters thin across many, ensuring they keep control no matter what. Now, you might be thinking, well, isn't that just politics as usual? No, this is institutionalized cheating. It's a political version of cheating at Monopoly, but with real people's rights and representation on the line. And the worst part, most Americans don't even realize how many districts are just drawn like that. They're told it's democracy, but it's just a rigged game designed to keep the same corrupt system in power. Let's talk about the party switch. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. How Southern Democrats, supposedly racist and backward, switched to the Republican Party in the 1960s, turning the Democrat Party into the party of civil rights. Well, folks, that's just Hollywood rewriting history to fit a convenient narrative. It's a fairy tale. And here's the harsh truth: Democrats never really changed. They just bought a thesaurus, rebranded, and fooled enough people to believing that they're about justice and progress, all while hiding their true legacy of racism, segregation, and big government. Let's be real. Race conscious policies? They're just racism in new clothes. Call it diversity, equity, or whatever buzzword they want. But at the end of the day, it's dividing Americans into categories, rewarding some and punishing others based on skin color. They've conditioned the masses to see themselves as victims, to depend on government handouts, and to never question authority. They've turned government solutions into a crutch for control. And most people just accept it because they've been told that questioning it makes you a racist or a bad person. Now, here's where it gets even more infuriating. The Democratic Party has been the party of the establishment, deep state, big government, and yes, racism for over a century. They've just learned how to hide it better. They've convinced millions that systematic racism is an unchangeable fact, an article of faith rather than propaganda. They've brainwashed generations into believing that the only way to fix the problems they created is to give more power to the very system that's been screwing over the average American for decades. And the media? They love to push the big switch story because it's a convenient way to absolve the Democrats of their sins and paint the GOP as the racist. They paint us as the villains while they rewrite history in real time. But the truth? Both parties have evolved, except the core of the Democratic Party's message remains the same: bigger government, more control, and identity politics dressed up as progress. They've just rebranded their old agenda with new slogans and shiny costumes. Now, let's look at the current political climate. The Democrats are panicked. They're losing ground because Americans are waking up. Courts are cracking down on gerrymandered districts. Demographics are shifting. People are realizing that race based policies are just thinly veiled racism, and they're rejecting the identity politics that divide us. What's the reaction? Denial, projection, and more inflammatory rhetoric. They call us fascists, threats to democracy, or enemies of the state. But the real threat is a system they built based on lies, dependency, and division. And here's the thing: most Americans are waking up to it. They're seeing through the lies, political class. They're realizing that the whole game has been rigged from the start. The media and the political class want you distracted, divided, and obedient. They want you to believe that the only way forward is more government, more control, more identity politics. But that's the lie. So, what do we do about it? First, we need to wake up. We are waking up, but we need more. We need to recognize the game for what it is: an elaborate, decades long con designed to keep us divided and powerless. We need to demand honesty, transparency, and fair representation. We need to push for district maps that are drawn with integrity, not salamanders, not spaghetti monsters. It's time to take back control of our elections, our states, and our country. And here's the truth: Patriots, we're not just fighting about policies. We're fighting for our country's soul. We're fighting to reclaim our sovereignty from the corrupt deception and manipulation that have become the norm. We have to stand up, speak out, and refuse to accept the narrative they feed us. Because at the end of the day, freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. It's on us to defend it. It's on us to hold our leaders accountable and to demand a government that serves us, not enslaves us. It's about restoring the principles that made America great: justice, personal responsibility, and limited government. So, Patriots, stay vigilant, stay informed, and never forget this isn't just about winning elections. It's about reclaiming our country from the corruption, deception, and endless cycle of manipulation. The path won't be easy, but it's worth it. Because if we don't fight for our freedom now, we might lose it forever. Thanks for listening. Stay patriotic, stay vigilant, and remember, freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility.
And that's all I have time for today, folks. Remember, America's strength isn't just in our military or in our economy. It's in the people, the principles, and the fact that we still believe in the greatness of this country. So keep on fighting that good fight. Stay patriotic. Never forget, freedom isn't free, but it's worth every sacrifice. Thank you for tuning in to FkIt, I Have Time today. Catch you next time, Patriots. God bless America, and make sure you always do your part to keep her great.